Hey, all you weather geeks, it is the Tuesday, April 28th edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. Recording this in the afternoon instead of the evening today because got a busy evening coming up. We're actually adding a new member to our 21 News Storm Tracker Storm team later on in May, probably towards the middle of the month. Can't wait for everyone to meet her, and she's coming in this evening to train with me for a couple of hours on what we have going on here. So a new member added to our team here in a couple of weeks. We look forward to that. In the meantime, I showed this graphic last night on 21 News at 11. Mondays this month have been wet days. Thursdays as well. It's rained every Monday and every Thursday this month so far. Yesterday we only had a couple of hundredths of an inch, but still, those have been our wet days, Mondays and Thursdays this month. We are below average for the month precipitation-wise, but not by a lot. I actually need to make a correction to this graphic. We're actually only about a quarter of an inch. Not closer to a half an inch below average for April. Now that said, we're in no danger of any sort of drought issues here anytime real soon. The Palmer Drought Severity Index, no surprise, is highest out across the western U.S., parts of the upper Midwest, but actually it's unusually moist in parts of the lower Ohio Valley, and we're pretty much right at par up here across northeast Ohio and into western Pennsylvania. Now May shape up to be kind of a dry month if the latest climate models were to be believed. Not to say we won't have wet days, certainly we will, but May as a whole right now forecasted to be below average in terms of precipitation across our part of the country. So we'll see if that forecast works out. These climate models have good months and bad months, just like any computer models and to some extent human forecasters as well. All right, here's what's going on this Tuesday. It's a beautiful day out there. Much better than yesterday, that's for sure. Yeah, we're below average again. We should be around 64 for a high at this time of the year. And here in the 2 o'clock hour, we're at 57 degrees in Youngstown, 58 in Newcastle. It's 58 over towards Akron, Canton. And we'll rise another degree or two before the afternoon is through. But hey, look at all this sunshine. There's a cumulus field in the sky out across central and eastern PA, but we've got just very, very few fair weather clouds out there this afternoon. Our upper level low, which was responsible for the clammy weather yesterday, pushing out to sea. In fact, the center of that low is off our screen now. So we're getting a little ridging, just a little bit, a little ridging of high pressure in the upper levels, nosing into the region, and that's why it's a much better day today. In the meantime, another upper level low is centered over Dallas, and it's a cool, unsettled day down there. This storm will take a southern route and eventually maybe go up the eastern seaboard, but this won't be a problem at all for us. Our next weather maker is Thursday, and the beginnings of that are out here across the upper Midwest. That's going to pivot in a couple of days. But until then, hey, enjoy some great weather. Most of the country this afternoon, pretty quiet weather-wise. We've got clouds and chilly temperatures under that upper low across the southern tier. Showers and storms down in Florida, but other than that, as you can see, most of the country is pretty quiet this afternoon. Under that upper low, it's chilly. We are warmer right now than it is in Dallas. It's only 54 in Dallas right now. It's not often you can say that in late April that Youngstown is warmer than Dallas, but indeed that is the case today. Otherwise, nice and mild across the upper Midwest, and actually a little cooler than average down in parts of the southeast this afternoon. All right, so tomorrow is going to be a fine day. We can go ahead and skip to Thursday because that's our next, potentially unsettled day. Here's midday on Thursday. Basically what we have going on here is in the upper levels, I showed you that little disturbance up across the upper Midwest. Well, that thing's going to strengthen as it comes to the south, so that by Thursday it's centered over Chicago or over towards Fort Wayne or South Bend by midday. This is a pretty strong looking upper level low. If you're not a super weather geek, upper level low pressure systems are pockets of chilly air up in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And chilly air up in the mid and upper levels of the atmosphere makes for an unsettled and unstable atmosphere because warm air parcels that rise from the ground can keep rising if the air continues to be chillier and chillier as you go up. So that's why oftentimes you find, yes, unsettled weather underneath these upper lows. And that's what we do expect on Thursday. It's probably not going to rain the entire day, but these showers can probably crop up at just about any point on Thursday. Here's the midday hours, then here's late afternoon. You get the idea, some showers around. So if you have outdoor plans Thursday, that's the one day for the rest of the week that we have some issues ahead of us. Now this should be largely gone by Friday. Here's Friday morning, first day of May. Our upper low and surface low now off the eastern seaboard, taking the moisture with it. Now, Friday could start with some clouds, but I do suspect the sun comes out reasonably quickly by Friday afternoon. I don't buy the GFS idea here just yet of backing the moisture westward again Friday afternoon. Other models do not have this idea. So right now, I suspect we're going to keep Friday's forecast dry. Stay tuned, though. If the GFS is sniffing something out here, we'll let you know. But right now, we think it's kind of out to lunch a little bit. Same thing with the weekend. The GFS kind of insists that there's a little bit of precipitation that it tries to spit up here, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. Here's Saturday afternoon. If you took this literally, it would suggest there could be a shower Saturday. I don't buy it right now. I think Saturday is largely a pretty nice day. Some sunshine Saturday in the midday and afternoon. And Sunday, as we wrap up the weekend, first weekend of May. Again, GFS wants to print out a little precipitation here, but at this point, don't really buy it. So if we have to make some changes, I'll let you know. But as of right now, we're going to keep Friday and the weekend dry. As we take a sneak peek at next week, it certainly looks a lot better, a lot more favorable pattern for us in terms of warmth. Let me bring up that 500 millibar chart again, kind of a snapshot of the mid-levels of the atmosphere. And while there's not a big ridge over the eastern U.S. early on next week, there's not a big trough anymore either. So with an airflow going basically west to east across the country, it'll be a seasonable week, even above average for a few days, it looks like next week. We got a shot at some 70s. So that's early in the week. Towards the latter half of the week, let's take a look at towards the end of next week, about 8 or 9 days from now, you've got a pretty nice pattern again setting up here with a trough out west, unsettled weather there, but not too many problems, I suspect, in the east. So next week promises to be warmer than this week. Here's a look at the 16-day GFS ensemble temperature forecast. Here's our current week out through Friday. Notice, even though we've got some nice days here, it's still going to be below average. Even Friday, which should turn out pretty nice, no better than 61, 62, 63, probably, a couple of degrees below average. Weekend looking good. I think we got a shot at 70 in some places, especially on Sunday. And then here's next week. You see a lot of above average days, it looks like, for next week. Probably no 80s. We might try to squeeze in one towards the end of the week, not sure yet. But mostly it looks like 70s for next week, so better things to come. Speaking of better things to come, I look forward to seeing you tonight on 21 News at 6 and 11. And another edition of Weather for Weather Geeks posted Wednesday evening. We'll go back to the evenings for Wednesday and Thursday. Thanks, as always, for watching, and have a great rest of your Tuesday.